welcome to the show. My name is Jacob Davidson, and I am in North Texas. And my hair is fucked right now. Or at least I think so. Hello. Thank you to anybody who comes to watch the show and anybody who comes to watch live. If I don't see you now, I'll see you on the replay. Sorry, I'm just waking up. Typically, when I do these streams, I just wake up at like 2:30, 2 o'clock. Because this is a weird off time. So today, I'll be talking about, well, the things listed. I think I'll save the artistic topic till last because I have more to say about that, and I don't want to front load all of my good stuff. Hello, M and M. I'm paying attention to the locals chat, and and I Can Cook is being funny right now. To me. Stir fry! Hi, stir fry. I'll probably try to keep it short this time around because it is Texas, the heat is starting to ramp up, and it is 82 degrees where I'm at. I have to turn off all fans in the room, and I have blackout curtains to make sure that I have a consistent darkness in the room. So I'll need to hurry along, but not too fast to make the show work. I'm gonna ramble a little bit at the start because I have a few things that I want to talk about. This whole thing, I realized a little bit ago that I was gonna need to make some sacrifices. And hopefully I get to a point where the sacrifices are no longer needing to be made. Because I have to slowly undo the ideas how I functioned before as an audience member. That and my hobbies have had to take a backseat. So I got a PS5 and the new Resident Evil 4 remake, but I haven't played much of that. I've maybe played like 4 hours so far. And another game that I like playing, I have had basically no progress in for the past week or so. But it's not the worst. It's an acceptable sacrifice I've made so far. I'm hoping to get to a point where I can get back to doing those things that I enjoy. I'm watching and just also working. well, if you'd be listening, I'm cool with it. It's great. As long as you're there. Thank you for showing up, Stir Fry. Mwah. In the gayest way possible. I swear I have. Oh no. Let me just go ahead and grab my link and post it again. I feel like you're being gaslit, Stir Fry. Alright, that should hopefully fix that confusion for that person. So, leading up from my work week this week into the weekend, my weekends are on Thursday and Friday. Sorry, hold on. I have to. Feels like I have to sneeze. So, coming from my work week, I have had a not so easy or good work week. I fucked up in a major way for my boss, and I feel really bad about it. I need to write an apology letter because whenever I fuck up, my boss feels it the most. And I messed up in a pretty spectacular way. Um, oh wait, hold on. There'll be another one in like a couple minutes. They always come in groups. That's got to be one group, like a lead flight and wingman going through, and then another one comes through pretty much right away because they like to fly in groups of two. I should drink it like that so you could maybe see the brand. That's very awkward. Well, that wasn't anything to teach. There was just a complete failure on my part. I live and breathe Jack Bauer this Friday. Yeah, folding laundry, so hush and enjoy the gremlins. I Can Cook is a very interesting character. Responding to a chat that's not my own chat is weird in its own way. Oh wait, there we go. That completes the set. But yeah, I fucked up with my boss in a spectacular way. One of the properties that he is contracted with is owned in Dallas. Now imagine how Nick does it with 3 chats. Probably in the way that I have it set up. You see, you can set it up so that the locals chat is popped out on its own, and with the pop out chats of the other two like YouTube and Rumble, you can just kind of have it separated. He probably has it set up in a way that it's easier to do. So like one half of the screen is locals, one half is YouTube, one half is Rumble. And he doesn't do 3 chats the entire time. Remember, he does the Rumble transition, and after he closes off the YouTube chat, he can just hit X on that browser or that pop out, and it makes the job so much easier. My boss he works a contract in Dallas. And Dallas has a very strict code policy about litter and garbage for some reason. Like, they are really, really uptight about it. And it's annoyed me because it seems like a way of punishing a property owner who owns private property for having a messy looking property. It's like some sort of homeowner association bullshit. It frustrates me that the property gets punished for other people's actions. I won't even dignify the possibility saying that they could do something. It's not their. I realized I need to. Whenever I play with a friend, I adjust the volume on the gain itself to make sure the static doesn't pop up, because whenever I play on my console, it's hard to adjust within the system. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Hello, I'm Jacob Davidson, and I'm in North Texas. This is the show. Welcome, welcome. I fucked up because the fine would have been $2,000 at most for every day that it wasn't fulfilled. I didn't do the whole job when I should have done the whole job. Because I had a plan in mind. But not only did I have a plan in mind, I did not communicate it at all. So, with that, my boss was left with the impression that I didn't do everything. And the property owner, who my boss had told that everything would get cleaned up, did not have that impression fulfilled. I had a bad time. He didn't even yell at me. He didn't threaten to fire me. He's forgiving. And I failed him. So I should probably write an apology letter to not only him but the property owner, because I don't want them to think that I think lightly of that situation or that I think lightly of the work. Hey Danielle, it's nice to see you again. I'm doing well. I'm just getting off my chest one of my weak frustrations. WEEK frustration. I'm not frustrated so much with my boss, I'm frustrated with me and the failure that I had. Because I've been thinking about this letter that I want to write to the property owner. Because it wasn't acceptable. And I realized through that how easy it is to want to blame something else or someone else. The urge to offset the blame and accountability was astronomical at that time. Because even if I did have a plan, I didn't communicate it, at least well enough. Not the property owner. Boss, sure, but not the property owner. Well, he already got in contact with the property owner. The property owner is the one who caught this. The property owner already knows. Like I'll have to write the letter idea, or yeah, write the letter or what I have in mind for a letter. Send it to my boss and ask him if he is alright with sending it to the property owner. And see if the property owner will accept my apology. We fixed the problem, ultimately. Like, we're good tomorrow. No thanks to me. Actually. It's just, I want to make amends because I realize my boss said one thing, I did another thing. And I may have potentially harmed a relationship there. Blaming is easier, but we end up doing a disservice to ourselves when we do so. It's because you recognize accountability as being complete. My day, I had to work the following day, and I felt like a piece of shit. I did not want to work, but I had to make money. And not only did I have to work, I had to perform well enough. And then I was caught slacking the following day. So a failure followed by another failure. It was a bad week. I did not like it. I had a bad time. But it's alright. I made it through the week. I fixed my mistakes. Hopefully I will be able to display that I will do better next time, given the circumstance. Repair what I broke, even in fraction. Any other failures, whatever happens, there to help you grow stronger. I would say yes, but a failure on this aspect is not just my failure. It's a failure that reflects on my boss. And my boss worked hard to get where he's at. And it's basically sabotage in a way. Like, if he got very angry and wanted to view it in a certain way, you could easily come up with the idea that my failure could have been an act of sabotage. And I don't like that. I don't like that idea. I don't like that my work might end up being like that. So I gotta get better. And I will. I gotta show that I'm not overpaid. Of course, I've been doing it for like a year and a half or so. I don't want to blame it on burnout because it's a cheap way of getting out of the situation. Oh, I was overworked and exhausted. I didn't feel like doing the job, so I just didn't do the job. I didn't feel energized, so I just didn't. I just didn't ask for a couple days off. Oh well. It's not a good excuse. It's not a good reason. There's no good reason that doesn't sound like an excuse in any circumstance. So I'm hoping to create a job for myself that only impacts me, impacts my lifestyle, and I can get out of his hair so he can find someone better. I need to find a proper substitute for that, though, because the job is incredible for going through your brain space. Remember how Gosling spoke about humility? We sometimes just have to do that and open up to the right kind of change. Yeah. Hopefully the change that I'm seeking to create for myself will be the right kind. Going through these topics, talking to people online, getting controversial in very many ways. I'm hoping it'll help me grow in the way that I'm very interested in. Because once this thing takes off, it's not an if, it's probably a win. I just gotta keep at it. When this thing takes off, my days off on this will probably change to Saturday, Sunday. Because I want to enjoy those days. And I'm really hoping that I get to a point where I can do that. And I'll have like a side thing. Something to do on those days that keep me in a productive manner. I was saying something just before this. Right. The work that I do right now. I almost said dude. Did do. It's incredible for my thinking capacity. I have had so many ideas born because I was driving at the middle of night trying to with so much free time. I need to probably find something to substitute that. Something that gets me in that. It's a mixture between driving to a location where I want to enjoy the free space or the free time and the manual labor that is so easy to do that it's just a automatic function. This can all be preparation for what's ahead in your journey. Try praying about about the situation. Life's not yours, not ours to battle alone. Just keep positive mental attitude. I will. I'm not good at asking for help as well. That was one of my failings that got me out of my previous job when my back got fucked up. I don't think I properly asked for help around that time. And it led me to the situation that I was in when I got my new job. This one. I certainly have a lot of improvements I need to make. There's an artistic side to what I want to do. Something like 3D aspect. I'm not good at making models, so I'll have to commission someone to make models for me. I'll probably share this alternate thing, but I think I want to keep it separate entirely. My day off will be spent making something else for another area. The problem is finding people that know how to do 3D animations for a video game. I'm not making a video game, it's just the thing that I'm planning to use isn't a video game. There's a lot of cool tools that I've learned. So this hopefully creates that. I probably need to figure out how to make a website as well. So, with all that, I vented about my frustrations for the week. I got off my chest my failure. I talked about my side hobby, the thing that helps me focus for work or for this side stuff is the driving from work. Maybe I'll try to start driving my own car when I can make sustainable income out of this thing. My boss is actually very encouraging on this aspect. He's not wanting to tie me down to that job that I do right now. What takes forever to talk about stuff that bothers you? So be proud about that. Talk to your boss about what's bothering you. We already talked about it. I just simmered on it after that. I already apologized to him, but my apology doesn't mean much if he had to stress about losing a contract. And this was after he had lost a contract already. And he made it very clear that he would rather shut down the whole thing if it meant taking food out of his kid's mouth, as he said it. And I agree with basically that ultimatum. I'd rather him be able to feed his kids rather than keep a bunch of failing assets around. I'm sure he sees your potential. Whatever happened could be a blessing. Maybe. It's a favorable light, but calling my failure at that moment a blessing or the contract being lost a blessing feels like a cop-out. We'll see later if it develops something, but I'd rather wait till something good happens out of the whole affair to call whatever a blessing. Because to call it that would make it seem like I'm making light or trying to make light of the situation in a way that's not some kind of cathartic release from the frustration. I get the sentimental aspect of it, or the sentiment of trying to call it a blessing. Hopefully it works out in a way that it all just led to something better. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. He's a good guy. It could be. Some of my biggest blessings come from the most tragic and crazy forms. I get what you mean, though. We'll see. No, it's not a good thing to be the worker that fucked up the day. You're like, we lost the property, but it's a blessing. Something good's gonna happen. If we hadn't lost that one property, we wouldn't be doing this property. This one pays better, but I failed that one time. It's not a good look. You can just hope that everything pays off, though. Frustrations, ventings, boss school is what I have. Yeah, I think that's all for my venting, my frustrations. This is a not topic. This is just me addressing my week at the end of the week. Well, this is the start. I have to go back to work tomorrow. That'll be fun. I like that. There is going to be changes, I hear. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll figure out what happens. And hopefully I perform better. A lot of the apology I want to write down has something to do with like, hey, I'm sorry that I fucked up. I didn't mean to make light of your situation. I didn't want to make you think that I didn't think it was a serious thing. I know it's a code violation. Let me work. I think I have the idea of ending it off with, please let me work to regain your trust in my work. Take full responsibility for my actions there, because my boss thought I was going to clean that up. That's on me. It's purely on me. He shouldn't have to eat that blame. And maybe if the property owner is gracious enough, the property owner will agree and work, just accept it and wait to see if I perform better. If not, I'd probably open up a doorway where the property owner says, we don't like that guy. Never have them work our property. Have them fuck off. Because we've come this close to firing someone because one of the property owners didn't like somebody working their properties because they didn't do a good enough job. Have an awesome weekend, even though you gotta work. Things will come together, I promise. Pray for God to give you guidance about what to do, what to say and do, and trust your God on what all to do. If He didn't want you there, you wouldn't be talk to going to work. Have a good day at work. Hopefully you can come back and watch it on the replay or listen. I'm optimistic that things will start coming together. I just had a couple bad days for the week. And I dealt with it pretty much right away. I know I needed to power through. I needed to get back on track. Because I could wallow the whole time, but that doesn't help my boss. That doesn't help me out. If I wallowed the whole time, I wouldn't get to a point where the work got done. I just needed like a moment. And I got that moment. So thank you for coming by, Danielle. I'll see you later. On to the first topic. I'll do the artistic one, even though it's listed first, I'll do it last. Nashville shoot 'em up. My fucking topic names. So you guys probably heard Audrey Hale, or Aiden, whatever. That school shooter that happened in Nashville. 6 dead, 3 9-year-old kids or something, 3 staff members. The absolute cretin that took lives. Nashville shooter Audrey Hale had a childlike obsession with staying a child, college classmate says. So already we're having... This was yesterday at 5, nearly 5. The mental state of our child killer was not a very good one, it seems. And obsessed with staying a child. Could you imagine not wanting to grow up? I get it. I have days where I wish I could go back to being a kid, not having to worry about much, just wake up on a spring day and go out, get soak in the sunlight before coming back in and playing video games. That'd be great. I love the good old days where the PS2 was the best console ever. I mean, it still is. It's just not powerful. It's not strong. But it was great. I played Devil May Cry all fucking day. Devil May Cry 3 was great. I got so good at it. Not enough to beat it on a high difficulty mode. I was still a kid. I wasn't that advanced as a gamer, but I got there. My childhood is fantastic. I loved it. Every moment of it. Even the bad moments. You gotta appreciate the bad moments. But Audrey Hale took it too far. Too many steps too far. A 28-year-old former Covenant school student who killed 6 people at the school Monday carefully planned the attack according to officials. Hale's parent, who lived with the shooter, said Hale was under a doctor's care for an emotional disorder. Nashville Police Chief John Drake said at a news conference Tuesday. The shooter had various writings and maps of the school, as well as drawings of how to enter, Drake said. Police knew Hale left home Monday morning with a red bag and that Hale's mother did not know weapons were inside, Drake said. Authorities continue to work to answer questions about who Hale was and the motive behind the school shooting. While shooter's gender identity is unclear, police told CNN that Hale was assigned female at birth and used male pronouns on social media. I mean, look at her. If you need anything beyond this, well, a lot of ladies these days get so rugged they look kind of like guys, though. It's kind of fair. She dressed like an incel for it. The shooter sent a message to a former classmate before the shooting. Yeah, it was something like, "I'll see you later. Goodbye. This will probably be the end of me." And the friend was like, "No, don't say that. You have something to live for. There's always something." Less than 20 minutes before the shooting, Hale sent an eerie Instagram message to Averion Patton, a former basketball teammate, who told CNN Don Lemon she's still trying to process it all. "I knew her well when we were kids," Patton told Lemon on CNN this morning. On Tuesday, Patton, now a Nashville radio host, said she hasn't had a relationship with the shooter since they were children and has only ever refer to Hale as Audrey or she. I don't know the adult. I didn't know the adult. I don't know that side of her. They go off the fucking deep end. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I was thirsty. And a drink from a gallon. I'm really hoping to get to the super chat function so I can do drinking streams profitably. But yeah, we got Disturbed lady. I don't get these people. Though I did, reminding me of school, I think I accidentally almost create fear in my school one time. So we were like growing up, and like I said with Devil May Cry, I grew up playing that game. The main character wears a trench coat, basically. A red trench coat, mind you, but still a trench coat. My brother found a trench coat, a black trench coat, and started wearing it because he liked it. It was cool. It was too small though. Didn't fit properly. But it fit well enough to wear if you just didn't stretch out your arms. And I started carrying a duffel bag for my school stuff because I liked the way. So rather than this, I liked this. Like a seatbelt strap. That was apparently a combination just right that people started thinking that we would end up shooting up the school. That was not our intentions. Our intentions were entirely innocent. I just wanted to carry a duffel bag because it seemed a little easier than carrying a backpack. Or at least if not easier, it was different enough because I'd been using a backpack basically my whole school life. Of course, we also fit the profile. We were young white guys in school. We weren't very popular. We were just there. And also incredibly fat. I mean, I still am. But we're gonna get over that. I'm really hoping Skylar, the creator, is listening to this. I'm building a wall. A great wall. Very nice. Some say it's the best wall. It'll keep it... It'll keep out all the cogs. No cogs allowed. It's a chicken. Oh shit, my bad. It's... I don't think these middle schoolers knew this would happen. I don't think they even had the impression of being afraid. I accidentally created the impression of fear for my classmates. But they had nothing to fear. My twin and I would never. Though they were paranoid, I guess. It was in Texas, so I guess the access to a firearm was better, but we came up poor, so we didn't have access. We didn't do hunting. I mean, there was a firearm in the house, but it was like it was an old style rifle. Like you have to load the cartridge into the barrel. And you have to use a cartridge instead of a round. I think there's rifling on it, so you just have to. I think it was just coming out of the flintlock style weaponry. But I didn't know about that rifle's existence until months ago. I'm 24, and that would have the incident. If there was to be something that happened at my school, it would have happened 5, 6 years ago. There were many things lost that day when Audrey decided to go on her fucking rampage. What was lost? We shouldn't use her mental derangement or inability to come to reality as a means of being light on her. But before she did this, she was probably a nice enough person. But after, fuck her. Hopefully she rots. Let's see here. Covenant School shooting victims. Let's remember the real people here. Let's remember them. Where's the third? Or where's the last one? Maybe the family of the third kid didn't want him revealed. Evelyn Diekhouse. Police have identified the victims. Evelyn Diekhouse, 9 years old. Hi, Mike. Welcome. Hopefully you like tacos. We're not talking about tacos. We're talking about kids. I'm putting proper memory to the people that lost their lives senselessly. Hopefully, people will remember these kids and the 3 adults. Evelyn Diekhouse, Mike Hill, William Kinney, Catherine Kuntz, Cynthia Peake, and Haley Scruggs. Three little girls, one grown guy, and 2 grown women. Evelyn Mike, Catherine, Cynthia, Hallie, and they don't have any picture of William. I don't think so. But did I say 3 girls? 2 girls and 1 boy. My bad. I really hope that shooter is rotting. I talked about it with Ghazni before. Oh yeah, I should say, with that Ghazni topic, we reached 105 views on the interview. My first 100 view video. I'm so happy about that. Thank you guys so much. Speaking of Ghazni, that interview, I mentioned I had a lot of wrath. Audrey Hale gets it. Audrey Hale has my wrath. Audrey gets my violence. If I can't do the violence to Audrey Hale, I'll think it. I feel it. I should probably pick up a hobby of like boxing. Boxing would be fun. I get to hit something. And I get to hit it a bunch. But yeah, those are the kids and the adults that lost their lives that day for someone being stupid. Someone being selfish and a rotten piece of shit. May it be the last. But also, I'm not. Speaking of, that action, so quickly politicized. It's funny how, at the same time, it's this controversial thing, and yet it's getting memory hold so strongly. Well, not memory hold. It's getting mitigated so much. You just need to be a little transitioning. And you escape all the accountability in the world. It's incredible what you can use as an excuse. Also, the rights being threatened because crazy people are crazy and do the bad things is insane. I hate it. Narrative is their god. Almost bow down under any circumstance. People have got to learn that we can't bow down to a bad circumstance. We can't bow down to a narrative. We got to keep to ourselves. We got to keep ourselves up. Because it's the upright who get hurt when you go against them because a non-upright person does the bad thing. You can only ever be accountable for yourself. But so many of these people seem to just want someone else to be accountable. It's frustrating. I have a good friend who I disagree with a lot. who seems to have. We worked out a lot of our little our differences. We're still friendly. He's my best friend. Love him to death. I think he gets lost on this whole greater good idea. And maybe I'm lost on the individual good idea. But you can only ever be accountable for yourself. So I make it anybody else's ordeal. Also, he's got to play with weapons of war, and I want weapons of war. Please give me the guns! I want fun guns. I want to go to a range and waste so much money on ammo. I want fun. I'm tired of not being able to have the fun. That's the Nashville topic. I didn't really have a whole lot to say. Just frustration about the whole incident. It's a tragedy that didn't need to happen. And one person's actions is a whole fucking thing that a bunch of people get to use for their own means. And it shouldn't be like that. Imagine if someone fucked up making a cake and that created a whole fucking movement. Every time someone fucked up making a cake. On to more fun news, though. Trump, he got indicted. Somehow, some way. Now, Ricada covered the legal aspect of this, that the law states that there's no real criminal act in providing hush money because the NDA was proper, or proper enough that it wasn't like he was trying to hush up a criminal act. Because, I mean, Stormy Daniels is probably just simply a porn star and a prostitute. Probably simply that. And she, if I remember right, she lost a legal battle against Trump. So if I remember right, the whole idea why this is a crime, the hush money, was because it used legal funds, or it was it was the classification of the funds that it was. Because I think legal funds might be tax exempt in New York. I don't do CNN. Trump has been indicted following an investigation to hush money probe, probably. Trump indictment updates. Charges still unclear as 10 DA requests. 10 hours ago. Here's how Trump reacted to his indictment, lawyer says. Trump lawyer hits airwaves to attack New York indictment. The data is clear. The indictment makes Republicans like Trump less or more? Oh! They've only boosted him. There were a number of public surveys conducted that leading up to the indictment, and they all showed similar story. The indictment of former President Donald Trump is likely to deliver a temporary boost to him in the GOP primary, but at the expense of his standing among the border electorate. They will ultimately decide whether he returns to the White House. He'll just have to overcome this. This fucker. Why don't we treat our politicians and district attorneys more roughly? Why are they so fucking coddled? We were born on a nation of violence. Why is it so looked down upon? I mean, obviously, I'm not calling to go violently against these people, but when things get pushed around in the way that they do, it's very necessary. What comes next? You being free. Hopefully we'll learn to play the game in the way that it's being played today. If we can just overcome the horse shit, we could probably find a better day. Former President Trump's indictment by Manhattan grand jury has sent the political and legal world into a frenzy. Here's what we know so far about the case against Trump and what could happen next as the country awaits the former president's arraignment. Surprise jury vote on Thursday. Manhattan grand jury voted Thursday to indict Trump on criminal charges for his role in the organizing hush money payments made to an adult film star during his 2016 campaign. Been a long concerted effort to make people subjects under these fuckers. People don't understand that they are only to represent the people so long as we see fit. I've actually had an idea about how to handle politicians. Though I would have probably jump into the political world to introduce this, and I doubt very many people would abide by it. So the idea was, if you get into politics, if you become a politician, at the end of your service, you forfeit everything and submit yourself to scientific research, whatever that may be. So you gotta hope that your political career lasts a long time. Otherwise, your life hangs literally in the balance of it. That was one of the ideas. And I'm thinking of bringing an idea to one of my state legislatures that is a compromise between two-term presidency and unlimited term presidency. So you get the 2 terms free. But anything after that, you need 2/3 majority to win your election. And your opponent has a much easier time. So you gotta be really damn popular and really damn wanted to continue being in the political office. Oh, and the political research thing I had in mind was something to do with Hisashi Ochi. Would be really fascinating to learn what the effects of radiation does to somebody. Many politicians to learn that with. It's just an idea. I'm not saying we do this to anybody. Or at least this would be my submit this idea to Congress sort of thing. Hopefully they vote for it. Doubt they would. I'd basically be saying, hey, they're not human though. Yeah. But they have human enough anatomy. You get some sort of value of research. The indictment, which remains under seal, follows an investigation by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg that centered on $1,300 payment fixer Michael Cohen made an adult film star Stormy Daniels shortly before the 2016 elections. Prepare the wooden steaks and garlic sauce. Thought it was garlic powder, not sauce. Thought you needed like a actual garlic. My main problem is that this remains under seal. We should see the charging documents. Well, for dipping. Oh, okay. The indictment required support from majority of the grand jury, which is typically made up of 16 or 23 people, and hears evidence in secret. I almost got called for jury duty. It must have been a civil case. It could have been a criminal case, but I think I was supposed to be a grand jury member. That had a very uninteresting case I was about to go to that got pulled out of my hands before I could go to it. The timing of Thursday's announcement came as something of a surprise. The grand jury had not met as scheduled on multiple occasions in the past 2 weeks, and multiple reports emerged earlier in the week that it would go on a month hiatus that had previously been planned. I think what happened was the delay was because with all the hype, especially with Trump came up about go protest, I think the jurors were frightened to come in. So I think that's why they held it off, let it calm down a little bit. Karen Santucci, a former New York grand jury court reporter who now directs Plaza College's court reporting program. Trump is expecting to be arraigned next week. A spokesperson for Bragg's office on Thursday said they have been in touch with Trump's lawyer to coordinate his surrender. Trump's attorney Joe Tacopina said in Good Morning America on Friday that much of what will happen is still unknown, but he does not expect Trump to be put in handcuffs. We'll go in there and we'll proceed to see a judge at some point, plead not guilty, start talking about filing motions, which we'll do ultimately, or immediately. Speculation has been rampant for weeks over whether Trump would be handcuffed, fingerprinted, and have his mugshot taken. Though any mugshot would not be made public in accordance with New York state law, the process will play out Tuesday under intense media attention. If someone does not get Trump to basically do a faux mugshot thing or handcuff, that is to be publicized the moment he comes up, and if they do that, someone's not playing their cards right. That would be marketing material for years. Why do I keep getting called Legal Hyman? Mike, why are you doing this to me? Why you bully me? Someone needs to market on Someone needs to market this. If someone does not market this, then it needs... Whoever is in charge of Trump in that way needs to get fired. I would have Trump dressed up, be like, hey, Trump, so you know that arraignment thing? If they do pull you in, take mugshots and whatnot, we should have mugshots that immediately get sold the moment you go in. Since they're not making it public, we need to make it public. Imagine the sales. Thank Mike. He should go full chain gang. Maybe. Would pay off. Have Kanye endorse his brand at that moment. I love the juice. Could you imagine? Chain himself to Lady Liberty. Would be fucking great. Oh yeah, thanks for posting my link in the locals. Very much appreciate that. Speculation has been okay, I read this already. I'm sure they'll try to get every ounce of publicity they can from this thing, Tacopina said. Mike, you like this person? You like this lawyer? Are you here because of this? Is this why you came by? Trump is expected to be released after next week's arraignment since the indictment does not include violent felony charges. We still don't know the exact charges. The indictment stems from hush money payments before the 2016 election, but beyond that, little will be known until Trump's arraignment. It about damn time. Almost taco time? God, now I'm craving tacos. God damn it. You did this to me. Maybe not tacos, but burritos. Burritos are great. The indictment, which contains the specific charges, will remain under seal until Trump appears in court for his arraignment on Tuesday, unless Bragg successfully asks the judge to unseal it early. Braggs would not. I don't think he would. I don't trust him. CNN and NBC News reported Trump is facing roughly 30 counts related to business fraud. And I have no doubts that these 30 counts are just duplicate counts. Trying to hit as many to see which sticks. I have no love for Trump, but I don't like the idea of them playing the system in the way that they are. The specifics remain unclear, but a source familiar with the proceedings confirmed to The Hill that Trump's indictment includes a felony. These are misdemeanors by law. God, these people are fucking retarded. The number and nature of the charges will provide more clarity about the case prosecutors intend to bring against Trump, and it could shed light on how much evidence they have against the former president. Yeah, and they'll fight it. Protests are likely to happen. Obviously, this is a huge event. Speculation goes that this was probably a well-placed plan to get him on the hook for something to deter his election or his campaign for re-election. And I wouldn't doubt that. Funny news. I like this one. This is great. So we saw this like DeSantis Trump clubbing or boxing match go back and forth that people seem to have mixed feelings on. I think I saw a video of Razor Fist very early on being like, yeah, they should go full throat at each other. Best man wins or something like that. It'll give them the chance to prove that they're both good for the job. If they can go after each other and then successfully come back from that, it'll be a good show of public display. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Thursday called the indictment of former President Trump un-American and said the state would not assist in any extradition request. The weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It is un-American. DeSantis, who is seen as Trump's top rival in the potential 2024 GOP primary, tweeted after news of the indictment broke. The Soros-backed Manhattan District Attorney has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent. DeSantis continued, adding that Florida would not assist in any extradition request given the questionable circumstances at issue. A Manhattan grand jury on Thursday voted to indict Trump on criminal charges for his role in organizing hush money. Yeah, it's to an adult film star. Trump, who is a Florida resident, is expected to be arraigned next week. DeSantis remarks echoed his previous comment decrying the hush money investigation as politically motivated. I mean, how could it not be? The guy's President Trump. He said last week that he had no interest in involving himself in some type of manufactured circus by some Soros DA. Florida law allows the governor to intervene in an extradition matter if they are contested. Though Trump's lawyers have previously indicated that they have no plans on fighting the former president's extradition, after DeSantis said last week that he wouldn't intervene in the case against Trump, the former president and his allies lashed out, accusing DeSantis of showing political weakness by not defending Trump more forcefully. I mean, it's a little fair. It's a little unfair as well, though. It's a give and take. You gotta be strong-footed on certain issues. I think DeSantis might try to play too on the line, but it might not suit what people want. But of course, the people are retarded. Prior to that, some Trump allies had called on DeSantis to intervene in the extradition process if the president was ultimately charged in New York. DeSantis is seen as the most serious challenger to Trump's GOP's 2024 presidential nomination. While he hasn't announced a bid yet, he has been actively preparing for a campaign and is widely expected to make a final decision later this year. And that is the story. This was updated yesterday. So DeSantis being a fucking hero for Trump if Trump gets extradited while he's in Florida. Would be great. It's outstanding. Speaking of Florida, Mike Chitwood. Mike Chitwood, you little bitch. I do not condone political violence. It's not a good thing to do. except for when it's a good thing to do. Mike Chitwood got someone arrested for posts made online that vaguely indicate the idea of maybe killing him if he is a problem. Because if a person's a problem, a very huge problem, and you gotta remove the problem, the way to do that seems to be murder. And he was arrested for that. You know, despite the founding of our fucking nation being on the idea that violent opposition to a problem is proper if needed. Chitwood is a shit piece of fucking... It frustrates me that our rights are so easily invaded and ruined in these ways. Hold on, I'm pulling something up. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of tyrants. If Chitwood doesn't like the implications, maybe he should stop. I had this argument one time with a very dear friend, very dear family member, close friend, love him. If you don't like the dangers of a job that you're doing, despite it being the job that you might want to do, and it pays well, probably, if the dangers are beyond what you want out of it, don't do the job. Chitwood has a choice to be the sheriff. He could leave any time he wants. He was not designed to be a tyrant. He was not designed to be... Johnny Cope, are you walking, lad? Or are you drumming a beat? Johnny Cope? Who's that? Who's Johnny Cope? Johnny Copeland? Whatever? Or is this just like a phrase? It frustrates me a lot. Old song. Now, mind you, I do not condone political violence, because violence is wrong. Always, obviously, apparently. No one should go after Mike Chitwood. No one. No one should. Especially not in Minecraft. The political speech aspect is our most protected right, and should be at all times. We saw this happen before. It wasn't quite to the same effect. That guy in Novak that got basically fucked by the police because he made a parody account of the police department on Facebook, and they went after him for charges and then dropped it. It's basically the same situation. Some guy said a thing and is now arrested or getting fucked with by the cops. Volusia County should remove the sheriff. Because if this guy is going to do it to a New Jersey person, imagine if they have a crossword to say about him. Volusia County should not sit with this. This is wrong. It's treason to the people. If there was ever anything to protest, this would be something to protest. Mike Chitwood on the right meets Richard Golden center. He's obviously not scared. Which means Chitwood is basically abusing his resources. Because some guy on the internet suggested the American way of removing a tyrant. Of removing someone who abuses their power. Chitwood is a scumbag. I mean, I'm not saying the 4chaner guy is completely innocent. He's probably not a good guy. But this isn't what he should be arrested for. There should be something with teeth. Something with a proper grounds to do this. Grounds. Not fucking this. If Volusia County cares to maintain their uprightness, they should be against this. And I can only hope so. This annoys me. I wanted to talk about this. I want to slam this guy, verbally speaking. But remember, guys, she thirsts. But to make it clear, you should not do anything to the sheriff, violently speaking. You should only vote him out if he's a problem. Do not vote for him or Binger or Creighton Waters or off-brand Jennifer Love Hewitt and the male prosecutor for Aaron Dean. These people are retarded. It's so fucking stupid. Disgraceful. So, with all that, I think I will start going back to... I think I'll do that other topic. It's very vague, but I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I like this artist a lot, and I hope this doesn't bring any undue attention to them. They had a controversial thing a while ago. Very controversial. Let me put on the camera focus while I wish I could Studio mode. If only... Oh, that's annoying. I'll figure it out in a moment. I was hoping to do scene or go to my camera focus and then go back to the scene. But it's not likely that's going to happen. Focus. Alright, so here's what I'll do. So this piece of art, this artist, I love this artist. He does great work. He has funny references packed into every little drawing he does, or something with a hidden meaning. On February, I think. Holocaust Remembrance Day. January 23rd. On January 23rd, this guy drew this image for Holocaust Remembrance Day. Now, if you don't know what you're looking at, it's this fancy little anime called Spy Family, or Spy X Family. It's a wholesome little show about, well, a spy forming a family to infiltrate another nation to try to keep this... The plan is to try to stop this evil guy, or this guy, from not wanting to do war. Because I think what they're trying to do is, he's a higher up who's for restarting a war between the two sides, and he's responsible for getting into his circle to try to convince him otherwise. Very serious concept, very serious topic. Trying to stop a war sounds like it's a good spy movie idea. And then it gets funny. It's not exactly that serious all the time. It gets there sometimes. It needs the serious moments to kind of make the comedy mean something. But the guy adopts this girl who becomes Anya, or her name is Anya, and she has special abilities. And he marries this girl who's Yor. And this is the family that he sets up to try to do this whole family spy operation. This girl has the ability to read minds, is particularly funny, and is basically the heart of the show. This lady right here is also leading a double life, like the spy husband. She's a very good assassin in the show. About 3 months back, an artist posted this for Holocaust Remembrance Day. People who saw it are certifiably retarded. Most of them. They're very stupid. I hate them. This artist does a lot of things as a joke. Because they're funny. It's great. This wasn't a joke. And even if it was, who cares? A joke on a day, a specific day, does not make the joke any worse or any better. It makes it well-timed or not well-timed. And maybe the not well timing makes it that much more funny. Even if it were a joke, it would be acceptable as a joke because humor is subjective, and if you don't find it funny, get the fuck over it. But this wasn't supposed to be funny. So the purpose of this piece, as you can tell, is on Holocaust Remembrance Day, and this is very clearly Auschwitz. The theming of the image tells everything that you need to know about the image. If the idea was to make light of the Holocaust and to make it all a big joke about, haha, funny Nazis, funny child killing Auschwitz, funny Holocaust, this would not be the image. Or if you do have this image, it doesn't look like this. She would be wearing black and white stripes going vertically, and she would be wearing a brown uniform with an armband. This very clearly takes place years after. Because as much as we like to think Auschwitz as this bad place, and it was, people died there. People were treated horribly there. Auschwitz now is a museum, is a proper museum. Even like 5 years after, 3 years I think it was in 48 or 47, Auschwitz became a museum. Because the history there is worth keeping and worth showing. So this artist thought about that, and so yeah, I'm going to draw that. It's great. This will be the topic that leads to whatever. People were mad that this was some kind of joke for Holocaust Remembrance Day. But they're too stupid to realize it's anything else. In fact, they went so angry that an artist that I like and respect basically was like, yo, this Joker idiot put their fucking Patreon in their account. Maybe we should fucking report that. Are you stupid? Have you lost your fucking mind? Now, this is 2 months ago, but it still bothers me I still follow that artist because despite them being a little fucking retarded, the art's still good. I follow an artist or a creator because I like their content or their art. I don't give a shit about their politics. I have a little problem. I feel like they deserve having some ridicule or mocking, but I will not name the person because I do not want to. I don't want to send people their way that'll hurt them. Though I do hope they learned better, because if they're willing to do that to someone because they think that something's a joke and it's just not keen on the humor, they should be absolutely ready to have that done to them. Also, the whole like policing of friends. There was this whole, I will police my friends into not following this guy because I think that this is obscene and not good. The whole event was stupid. So I'll spend some time extracting the real meaning out of this. Because the funny haha guy who draws funny haha art wasn't funny haha this time. Like, sure, there might be funny things involved. Like, you might look at this and go, why does this kid have a fucking pickaxe? What's he doing? Why does it look like this girl's carrying a sack full of something? Maybe it's a pillow. The meaning of this art has a lot to do not with the art itself, but with a man named Viktor Frankl. And I can say definitively that this was a genuine attempt or a genuine remembrance tribute towards the Holocaust victims. This wasn't funny. This wasn't an attempt to be funny. It was serious. And a serious attempt should be regarded by its attempt, by the intent of the message. And here's the message. Here's what it should be taken. The Holocaust wasn't good. And we should remember them. But we should also not hate the place because it's the place. And we should not regard someone who draws the place that it happened inherently as a joker or an anti-Semite. You see Anya crying. She has the ability to read minds. But not only that, she's carrying a book by very pixelated. But that's a V-I-K, and that's a T. This is a school trip within the canon of the art. This is the school uniform for Anya in the show, as that's the school uniform for the guys as well. She's dressed casually. Yor is very protective of Anya in the show. So much so that she becomes very murderous. She will kill you if you go after Anya. She is a threat to you if you threaten this person in the show. But she's very calm here, very relaxed. She's just wiping away tears. This is not an implication that Anya is going into a concentration camp to suffer the fate of a concentration camp of the time. even the setting of the show takes place, if applied in the real world, a few years or a decade after the Holocaust, after World War II. It's a story about trying to keep peace between two sides after a very large conflict. The meaning is innocent. The meaning is remembrance and tribute. Holocaust Remembrance Day is on the 27th. And it'll be that day for next year as well, it seems. And I'll remember this. And I know this now better than I did at the time, because people got mad about an art piece that they thought was some guy making edgy humor that wasn't humorous or edgy. And I'd like to address that one detail of the art. If the page will load. Viktor Frankl wrote a book called The Meaning of Life. Or Man's Search for Meaning. Looks kind of like this. Has Viktor Frankl on the top. It's a bluish cover book. Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meanings. Is a symbolic book. Summary. You should read it. I plan on reading it. I should have read it following before this. There's a PDF. It's how many? 200 pages, but 200 pages full of meaning. Viktor Frankl is an Austrian Jewish man, if I remember right. Yeah. Found meaning in his experience in the concentration camp by deciding that he was going to use the suffering. The meaning of the book tells you exactly why the art exists. Search for Meaning provides a vivid account of an individual experience as a prisoner in a Nazi concentration camp. The book focuses on love, hope, responsibility, inner freedom, and the beauty to be found in both nature and art as a means to help one endure and overcome harrowing experiences. The Holocaust was a harrowing experience. The place is harrowing. You go there, and if you go there, you go to the gas chambers there, the showers, you realize you're standing in the same place where a bunch of people died senselessly. Because a leader of a nation decided he wanted to go to war, take over some things, and he killed a bunch of people in the process. And a bunch of scientists took the opportunity to go do this as well and learn from the damage that you could do to these people. Because he didn't see them as people, he saw them as cattle. Saw them as an opportunity to learn. One of the particulars of a particular scientist has left an impact. Because what this guy did was he took twins to experiment on. One in one way, one in the other way. I have a twin. If I was born as a Jew in the time of World War II in Germany, this guy would look at me and go, "Yeah, I might. Let's see what happens if I do something to this guy and my twin." I'm just very lucky to be born not in the time of the Holocaust. Or Jewish around that time. I'm lucky I was born in America. I'm lucky I was born in America even today, so that doesn't say much. Meanings of things do not mean what they mean the entire time. Except for words. Words should have their meaning. Hopefully. Hopefully words keep their meaning for as long as the word exists. I'm not a fan of language change within the language. It's stupid. Definitions should not be so amiable that a word meaning one thing one day does not mean the same thing another day. The art that this guy drew was supposed to show that the Auschwitz is not the same place it was. And not only that, it's supposed to show, yeah, the day was horrible. It didn't show Anya smiling, laughing at the place, or a crude mockery of what happened there. It didn't even show an attempt to try to make light of the situation. It was simply just a school field trip at Auschwitz, the museum. And the fact that the people in the art sphere went after this guy is so fucking stupid. And the fact that they wanted to go after him irritates me to no end. To that artist I like, to the two of them, one wanting to please their friends, please don't do that again. If you ever see this, I doubt they will, and even if they did, I don't think they'd agree with me, or they would even know who I'm talking about. Don't police your friends for following an artist who's just simply being an artist. If the person did like something, like harm somebody in a very real particular way, sure, I get that. Disassociating with that is a reasonable response, but stick with a friend if that's your friend. Try to stick with them until there's evidence to prove that they did the wrong. Don't throw them under the bus, hopefully, for just the mere accusation. And to the other guy, the most egregious motherfucker in this whole incident, do not make false reports to Patreon because you think the meaning of an art piece is wrong. Do not chase after someone's form of income because you think the meaning is bad. You illiterate piece of shit. Maybe learn how to interpret art before you think someone is an anti-Semite because they drew a genuine remembrance. I hope you don't mess up in any form, in any way, shape, that would lead you to having a similar response from somebody else. Someone drawing art about Auschwitz in the way that that was is not anti-Semitic. It doesn't prejudice any Jewish people. It doesn't make light of the experience that the people who lived through the Holocaust experienced. And the explicit meaning behind the piece was written into the piece. You can see Viktor Frankl's book in Anya's hands. It requires an understanding of the characters, of the setting, and of the book to get the full meaning, and you obviously didn't get it. And even if it was a joke, it's not reportable. It's not prejudice. It's not discrimination. It doesn't hurt anybody. And it's not calling for violence. It's not a harassment or an abuse. You fuck. Just maybe learn how to look at an art piece and understand its meaning. That's what I'm saying. If you ever see this, that artist that I like on Twitter, I still like your art. Your politics is shit, though. But I like your art, and you'll still get my support, even if you don't like it. Because you make money in a way that I can't. You have a marketable skill, and I want to see that marketable skill through fruition. Hell, I would probably commission your art. I just need the money and the right timing. Hopefully I get to have one of those. Two of those conditions met. Hopefully the money part. Definitely the money part. I do not think the artists that didn't like this guy are bad people. I just think they're stupid. A lot of these artists on Twitter are blatantly retarded and out of any depth of intelligence. They think in a very particular way, and they don't like a very particular kind of people. I don't care about that, though. Just don't go after a guy who draws an art piece on Twitter. Don't do that. It's not good. They don't deserve it. Imagine if that were you. You wouldn't want that. So don't do it to this person. Don't do it ever again. I know that's corny and cheesy, and what am I going to do about it? Not much, but try not to. Would be nice. Just leave people alone in their expressions. Like, I presume this artist exists in America, where the First Amendment exists. So why throw away the principles? I'm find this particularly egregious because I know Vic Mignogna. I know of him. I've met him. He's a great guy. They went after him and his income because they didn't like his particular politics. Falsely accused him of something that he didn't do and got him out of an industry that he loved for a time because he wasn't the right political thinker. And that's why I hate what this artist that I spurred out about. That's why I don't like what this artist did. He found this art particularly egregious and decided he wanted to go after a person's form of income because he disagreed with it. Infuriating. But yeah, that's my artistic topic. I've been simmering on this for a couple months now. Happy to finally have had a place to talk about it. I'll probably still get frustrated about it over time. But I'm in a better spot now that I've said something about it, because who doesn't like getting their frustrations vented out? Hold on. If anybody's still here, I would kill for a topic. I might figure out something later, if not now. But if that is the show, it was a fun one. I should really wrap up though. The lack of airflow is killer in here. I've been sitting here basically for 2 hours with no airflow in 81-degree heat. Only gets worse from here, guys. Texas is shit. Texas is shit for weather, but it's great for basically anything else. I don't have enough topics for a 3-hour stream, unfortunately. Though it's good enough to get 1 hour of a stream going, talk about what I want to talk about. This has been fun. Always fun. I always enjoy these. Even if I'm dead tired and I don't seem like I enjoy it, I actually really do. I've only had 6 streams so far, this being number 6. I'm still happy that my Ghazi interview got 100 views. Of course, I shared the crap out of it. I sent it everywhere. But it makes me happy. I'm still looking to improve myself, looking to stop with the verbal pauses, hoping to get myself in a position where I'm able to do this full time, where I can enjoy my free time as free time rather than this. Because this has been eating up the free time that I have had. On my work days, I'll focus on doing streams at the time I suggested, the 3 to 6. But at the very least, I promise, dandelions being assholes. But I do promise to at least do 6 to 7 for stream time, barring my roommate, because I do share a room. This whole divider thing is not for show. It actually does hide something. Bulldozer, what are you talking about? What? Dandelions? Dandelions? Andrew Saran! Hey! How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep this going. I'm probably wrapping up soon. I'm thinking about contacting Jeff again. I did what I said I would last time, that I would message him. I messaged him and I'm waiting for him to get back to me. Bored, cold, and kinda hungry. I am sleepy, hot, and also kind of hungry. Intense high when you smoke them, but you have to do a certain way for it to work. Did you see the... Oh yeah, that shed hunting thing? I saw it on the stream Wednesday. I want to make a joke that it looked grisly, that it was grisly. I can't wait for the Minnesota meetup. Dude, if I could make this a thing that I could just go to Minnesota, you would find me basically all over the country at any time. There's more to the bear story? They don't respect my weed killer. Had to kill them with my pocket knife. Bulldozer's having a rough time with dandelions. What do dandelions grow into? So you're saying Cummings was dragged into the woods by his face and came back out on his own? Are you implying that maybe Cummings threw his friend to the bear and killed him first and then he got attacked? I thought both friends came out of it alive. Or came out of it barely alive. Oh, you're caught in the bear trap. No, Cummings was the hero. Adrenaline. Adrenaline does a lot. I'll probably get back to this bear story at some other point. It's wild. Yes, coming saved his friend and then was dragged into the woods, reappeared bloody and on his own. How did he defeat the bear? Maybe he's shown the bear an OnlyFans account. I don't know, it's not, I don't think it's impossible to live, it's just difficult in that situation. It's entirely possible he deterred the bear, or the bear thought, man, this guy is not dying as quickly as I hoped he would. But it's good to know they came out of it alive. Sucks that what's his name? Cummings was interview Cummings? Yeah, I'll try to reach out to him. I don't know if he will. I'm just a random guy on the internet. The bear was pacified by mediocre thoughterry. So he has an Instagram. I gotta make a Legal Layman official Instagram account. I'll get in contact with them to try to do an interview, if that's what you want. Then I'll tell Ricada and see if he'll cover the interview. Because why not? I'm still trying to get with Jeff, see if he'll have me on for one of his streams. Someone suggested I go to Kurt as well. Or Kurt goes to me. What was it? It reads... It was on the interview. Rose's Law, discussion with Ghazi and Legal Layman. Love seeing channels, especially young people who want to learn law. Give them thumbs up and subscribe. Oh, and watch the show. Kurt at Uncivil Law. I tagged you in a comment there and here in post. Since this young man is interested in Texas law, I encouraged him to get in touch with you. So yeah, that was a fun little thing that I saw. I liked it. I should probably try to get in touch with Kurt. See if he'll be willing to talk to me about whatever. I'd like to pick his brain, Ray Liotta style. But yeah, I think that is it for the show. I will look up different topics to go through. I'll message Kendall Cummings to see if the Shed Hunter will appear to talk about his attack. What it's like to do shed hunting, what he does for life. Why he's posing with a fox. I'll try to think of other topics as well. I think I won't do a stream tomorrow because I want to relax. I am fucked. It's always tired. I'm always tired by this time. I didn't get to sleep as quickly as I wanted to, so I woke up a little late. Or woke up earlier with less sleep. I'll try to get more sleep a little later, enjoy my day off. Thank you for everybody who came to watch. Thank you, Suran, Andrew, and Mike Tacos. Stir Fry and Danielle. Thank you guys for coming by and listening to me talk. I had a rant. I had a proper rant a few minutes ago. I liked that. Maybe I'll get clips. Would be fancy. Cummings, Kurt, Jeff. Hopefully I'll have something to talk to Ricada with. That's actually one of my long-term goals. Either with the Tanner Horner case, hopefully I'll be able to get to do it on my own if Ricada's busy. But the idea is, it's kind of a thing. So the idea is I want to be able to get to a certain knowledge set in law to justify to Ricada to allow me to join in for his trial streams, because that's where I want to be. That's kind of the goal. I want to do this to share my ideas and talk about the law in the way that I develop my mind to interpret it as, or to approach it. But also a lot of this is kind of, I wanted to appear on a show with a guy that I think is cool. And I want to test myself to see if I can get to that point. Because if I can achieve the knowledge to justify being in a panel of lawyers to think like they do, would be a pretty drastic step up from what I have right now. It'd be a proof of concept, basically. But yeah, enough ramblings, enough about this and that. Oh yeah, I have a locals. I have a Rumble, I have a Twitter. I'll have an Instagram. Please go check those out. Well, I can't monetize on YouTube with super chats yet. I think my locals is the place to be. I plan on posting songs. I like singing, so I'll probably record myself singing a cappella and try to get covers of songs, something like that, done for locals. So if you like my voice enough to want to hear me put a song tune to it, that is where you can find it. I've been told that I have a good voice, so I'm hoping it'll translate into my singing. And I hope it translated here as well, because I don't know if I sound like a fucking child to you guys, because from how I hear myself in a recording, I sound younger than I do sound most of the time, or got a higher tone. Of course, I think that's natural with the lack of real life talking, because atoms dispersion over the sound waves. Instead, it's just speaking into a tin that goes to electronic stuff. If you enjoyed what you saw, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming later. Thank you to those who jumped in and watched live, and I hope to see more of anybody who watches on the replay live. I'm always pleased to see more people enjoying or watching my stuff, even if you end up calling me stupid. I'm not against the stronger language. You can call me whatever. But seriously, thank you. Hopefully, I get to make this something that you can hear more of me more often. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think this is the end of the stream. Remember to go check out my locals, my Rumble, my Twitter. I'll try to link more, try to get more involved. Make myself something to actually grow with. But alas, thank you for coming.